So, Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson finally came to an end. And I see a lot of women shocked that men are happy and things like that. But it's sort of a contradiction because these are the same women that say and they complain that hoes are winning. They should be happy that men aren't letting hoes win. We don't want that. Men don't want hoes to win because it sends the wrong message. And that's why Russell Wilson catches all of these strays because we feel when a woman behaves a certain way, she shouldn't be rewarded. So therefore, Meg Thee Stallion with her WAP song and Wet Ass Pussy and the way she twerks everywhere, twerking at political conventions, and that's her image that she's just gonna twerk and be for the streets and be a city girl and all of this stuff. You don't get to live this sexually liberated life and promote a promiscuous lifestyle and twerking all over the place and then get to settle down with a multimillionaire. We don't want you to think that that's a thing. That's not a thing. After you live a life of crime, you are not going to be rewarded. You are going to be left alone. You got to know how to behave and carry yourself or settle for the people at the bottom, the worthless piece of trash, the men you don't want. You need to learn how to carry yourself with some decorum, right? You can't have this long list. And we've watched this since Meg Thee Stallion came into the industry. You know, you got the baby, you got what was the dude? Partisan she was dating, Tory Lanez. And we watched her live, in our faces, playing our faces when she was sitting down with Gayle King, claiming that she didn't have sexual relations with Tory Lane.
Megan, did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
Um, I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tori.
So why do you think he's putting out the story that the two of you had a relationship and that you're making the whole thing up?
And then there's just a list. So a lot of times women play games. And this is one of the signs for men when you know a woman has been around the block. When they start claiming they're abstinent or they've changed. And now they want a God-fearing man. That's their way of saying they're looking for a sucker. That's their way of saying it. They want a guy who was going to accept their past, and their past doesn't matter, and all of their bodies, their body count that they want to keep a secret or lie about because they're ashamed on the inside. Which, if you're ashamed of it, you should have never done it. True love is true love. True love is someone accepting your past, your present, and still wanting a future with you. Don't lie about that high body count. You did it. Now own up to it. They want to lie. They want to have this lifestyle when they know that that's not really what men are looking for. But they're hoping that they can find a sucker who will take on that lifestyle that they had and accept them for it. So they say they want a God-fearing man who's going to accept it. After living a life as a Jezebel, now they want to claim they're a Proverbs 30 woman. Oh, now I'm this good, virtuous woman, and I'm gonna live righteously after you've lived a life of just chaos and all over the place. And that's still with them. They're not gonna get rid of that. Once they got all them bodies and stuff like that, that's why there's research saying how women with higher body counts are more likely to lead to a divorce. They got all this experience, and it leads to trust issues with men and different expectations and stuff like that. It's not something men don't want to deal with. So men are happy that Klay Thompson didn't fall for it and he wasn't actually being a sucker. Don't think you get to live a life like that and then you get to get a man to just be monogamous with you. Now, if Meg Thee Stallion wanted to be winning, she should have just let Klay Thompson cheat. She should have just let him do what he was doing, and she should have just been happy with him because she's not going to get it. It's not like she's a real talented rapper out here. It's not like, she had the talent and the skill of a Lauryn Hill, Queen Latifah, MC Light, some of my favorite female rappers. If she had their skill, she wouldn't have to be out here twerking all over the place. And that's the problem with these female rappers now. They don't have real skill. They don't have real talent like the female rappers in the 80s and the 90s. So they got to sell sex and twerk all over the place because they don't have the real skill. Has she come out here and displayed real skill, carried herself with some decorum and class, and showcased skill and made her music? Maybe she could get one of these rappers or actors or athletes to take her seriously. But now, it's not going to be the case. Again, after they live a certain lifestyle, then they go looking for a square, or a God-fearing man, they say, and all of that to take them on. Then they'll say, oh, I'm not having sex till marriage. You guys pay attention to that. Oh, I'm abstinent. You're not abstinent. And they hit you with that lie, those time frames. Oh, I've been abstinent. I haven't had sex the last 3 months, 6 months. Or I've been abstinent for a year. No, you haven't. You just want this guy to believe it, and they'll throw it out there to see if you fall for it. Klay Thompson, she probably hit Klay Thompson's probably like, let's just have some fun. Let's not put a title on it. Let's just have some fun, sleep around, do what we're gonna do. And she probably was like, nah, I don't know what you heard. I put that image out there in the public, but that's just me as an artist. That's not who I really am. I'm not trying to do something like that. So Klay Thompson was like, okay, you want to play the game, so I'll play the game with you. Because I want to see what that feels like. I want to get my turn. So he played the game, and that's what happened. I'm not saying he should have or he shouldn't have. But these women live this lifestyle and then they want to play games. Don't be out here with this image and this history, and then you try to play guys for a sucker. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen with a guy who doesn't have to settle for the game. Multi-millionaire, got a whole bunch of M's. Why would he settle for you? Who, you got a bunch of rappers under your belt. You carry yourself by twerking and making songs called Wet Ass Pussy. Let's be for real. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.